Hello, finally I'm going to present the view and controller part of the client-side presentation in the dashboard. So, as I told you, both the view and the controllers are implemented in this package and actually in the same component, in the same view element, which is this one. So if you look here, you'll see two parts. This part that has a template, that is the view, and this is the controller. This is a very simple one that I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to focus on the view. So what does the view contain? So probably one interesting way to look at it is basically to see what you have there. So if I do go as a student and I go to dashboard, this is what I get. Okay, so basically what you see there is what is in this component. So this dashboard word there, okay, is that dashboard there. And then you see these buttons, and these buttons are, so this contains a lot of Vuetify CSS, okay, and which is simpler. So it's a class container, and then you have this title, and then you have a vcard table that basically, if you close it, it shows that it's almost everything here. Okay, so that's the table here, and then you define a row here. Okay, and this row contains several columns, and each column contains one of these elements. Okay, and what does the element have? Basically, you have the title, global statistics is a button, and then you have weekly scores, another button, another button, another button. They are here. And then they are reactive in the sense that when you click them, you execute this piece of code. Okay? So in this case, when you click there, you have a variable in the model called show, and you change the value of show. So basically, when you click this one, you change it to global, and there to weekly. Okay, so and basically something happens. So a controller is going to receive this event and do something, and I will show you what does it do, but actually is something like this. So when I change it, I change what is presented. If I click there, it returns. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Okay, there are something similar for something additional for the scores for these buttons is that they contain the date of the last check. Okay, and this is here, so it's included weekly scores. You cannot see them because it's not yet implemented, but we'll see the dates there once it is implemented. Okay, so you have several columns, and then you have another thing that is interesting is that you can have other components, and look, this is basically that part, and that part that is here, it's another component, and this component is only visible if show is equal to global. So actually, when I click there, I change this variable, and by changing this variable, I activate this component. So there's another component here that is implemented. It's a subcomponent. So this subcomponent is actually described here, and I will describe it later. But first, what I'm going to show you is what happens when I open this component, when I open the dashboard view. So actually, we do a query to the database. So I do a query to the backend to get the information to my model, to the dashboard. And when I have this information, then I can present it here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. But once I change in the view, so this actually is the controller. So when I click there, I change the value of this variable, and automatically this component is activated and it appears there. So now, what's left? Well, how it is implemented this component. Oh, so the subcomponents are here. So how is it implemented? Well, it's easy, it's similar. So this is the subcomponent, and it has two parts. That part here, that basically, if you see, presents the statistics. So you have the statistics there, is your model, and presents the values of the statistics. So create discussions. Discussions created, okay? You have their total quizzes. Okay, and every time this model changes, the values in the model change here. Basically, you just redraw and represent, which is actually not the case, but you can write the code that changes. So, but how do you get this information? Again, when it is created the component, you query the database. And by querying the database, you just fill these student statistics. That is the JSON object, or the object that represents the JSON that comes from the backend. And that's it. And of course, if you love to have things very nice, then you can use CSS directly. Although you can do a lot of things only using the Vuetify framework. But of course, if you want to have something more precise, or, well, it's up to you. So this is basically the way it works. Okay, that's it. Thank you.